In the
Might
hand.
have it. Might have it head.
Mine
2.0.
I haven't been upstairs in a while. It might be up there.
until mine comes up.
Isn't that right?
I'm in. You need one? You have one?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
That's
All right.
Are we agreed? Okay, we're agreed.
I hereby open the regular meeting of the Board of Education of the Chickasha Public School District 26I001. The meeting was properly posted in compliance with the Oklahoma Open Meetings Act, and this is a special meeting. Time is 12:01. Oh, I forgot to do that. There we go. Roll call.
Allen,
Yes.
Clift,
Yes.
Curtis,
Yes.
McGill,
Here.
Morris.
Here. Item 3, Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Discussion and vote to approve or not approve the new agreement, DHS School-Based Services Agreement. Superintendent Crosland.
Pass this off to Ms. Sagaman.
So we got information from the State Department of Ed and from DHS that we could apply for an agreement between the two of us to help split the cost of a social worker. And we have been looking for a social worker. I've had the position posted. We haven't had any applicants yet. I think part of the reasons when we posted the position, we posted it as a licensed social worker, which requires higher degree, and just haven't had any applicants. But through this with DHS, we'll contract with them. DHS will open up the position. It doesn't have to be a license, so they can have a bachelor's instead of a master's. And they will post the position. They will narrow down the applicants down to 4 or 5. Schedule interviews that we will attend and participate in. So we'll be involved in the selection process of a social worker. But by partnering with DHS for this, then they will have access to DHS information, meaning if we have a family we're trying to work with, then they already know some of the resources and then what other things that we might need to do on top of. So it'll be a joint collaboration between us. The employee will work with us in the district. We see them being housed and working with our LPC, which we are still working to hire. That just seems like a win-win for the situation, and it would cost us 50% of the person's salary and benefits, and DHS then through their grant, federal program grant, will pick up the other 50%.
Okay.
What other schools do it like this?
They named off some, and I feel bad. Let's see if I've got it in my other notes.
I can tell you, we did this in my last district.
How long did you do it for?
How long did we do it for? We had it running for, when I left, I want to say 5 years, 6 years.
That
We
was-
had it up and going.
That's what my only concern is that.
How much control do we actually retain?
Oh, we can take control here at our level. I mean, they're not going to tell us what to do.
How do we know that?
That's
We just
not
won't let
ever
it
how I've
happen.
experienced that in the last.
Well, I know, but in the agreement, there weren't any precautions that really showed that we were the governing body.
Well, because it's a collaboration. It is a joint collaboration. Broken Arrow Schools, Guyman Schools, and Union Schools were 3 of the schools that they gave.
But yet they're doing the initial interviewing and we're just looking at what they chose for us.
They have more experience.
They have, yes, and
Then
they
her, I disagree.
With choosing social
do.
workers?
For
social
social
workers?
worker, I would
For what?
say they do.
Well,
I mean,
that aspect, I mean, for our district, our families, our unique makeup.
we're not just going to just say, we'll take anybody, give us somebody. We will be picky and choosy in this, in this process. they'll just narrow down the applicant pool. She said that they don't have problems with applicants. And a number of them are ones that already work in the DHS system, that have already been social workers, and so already have that experience, but they will add to any training that needs to be done and any of their supplies or resources.
So is there any way you can be a part of that?
Well,
Or
we-
someone-
We are part of the final selection interview, so
Yes.
that's,
So they
they want
basically-
someone else.
I know, but I want to hear what she has to say, if she can be a part of the initial part.
Oh, definitely.
I mean,
will be part
I
of
just
that.
feel like we're leaving out, and it may, I don't know, but
Here's
it
my-
feels like
can I-
we're leaving out a key
question.
component for us to be participate,
No,
to
we
participate
will
in
be
this.
equal participants. They are just doing the preliminary work for us. I mean, we've had a position posted, we haven't had any applicants for, but they will do the preliminary work. But we will be very much involved in the deciding who's the right person, who's the right fit for the position.
So were we gonna use ESSER funds for that?
Initially, we had thought of it, but
So
they are
if we
using
do-
federal funds, so this will come out of our general.
Okay, so that was my question. I just didn't know if we could use federal funds if they're not gonna be licensed. You know what I mean?
You can't use federal funds. When another entity is using federal funds, we can't come in and use federal
Okay.
funds. So this will come out of our general.
So this will not be extra cost, okay.
Yeah, they wouldn't let federal funds match another federal funded grant. But by what we're doing, I mean, we had planned on paying a full salary out of ESSER, but what we are doing by paying our water out of ESSER, our electric, our workman's comp, those type of things, then we're freeing up some general budgeted money, general fund money that we can then utilize this way.
This also does not add an employee to our employee roster that if we have to do something with, it's different. It's their employee.
So,
You can walk away from an agreement easier than you can cut a position.
I know, but that's what kind of worries me with this type of position. It's not in our district. They're coming into our district to work and be around our kids, but we don't have any.
But we do, we have 50%.
so
We're equal.
This may be the only way we can get.
So
it.
everything I've noticed about, and I can give you background on this. Basically, the first part they're talking about is all the screening parts of interviews that they eliminate, because you get applicants that are not qualified, applicants that would not be considered for whatever previous work histories, whatever. They go through and they take care of all that and eliminate that out. And we've seen that in my previous district. So then what they bring you are the qualified applicants for you to consider. You do the interview process with them jointly. You're both asking questions. You're both trying to find the right fit for what we're looking for here in our district. The person is housed here wherever we house them. And they'll be doing the duties and responsibilities that we give them. Plus they have duties and responsibilities at DHS that are just, they have to respond to reports that are given of, any type of child abuse, those type of things.
Right.
They'll be the primary person that will be reporting it and then working with DHS.
So nothing would be reported until they report to you first, and then it would go to the proper channel of what it needs to be. So at no point will we be cut out of any of the notification or decision-making process.
Well, it depends on what you're talking about. If you're talking about a report of suspected child abuse, nobody has to go through anybody. It's
you're-
that
you're
person's
required
personal
by law
obligation. So if that's what you're talking about, you don't have to get permission to make a call.
But that's kind of same for a teacher or anything.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying permission. I'm saying, but notification. They might have to go their emergency route or whatever their proper protocol is, but it's not that you would not be, or the district would not be notified.
We'll know when a report's made of child abuse or something like that. The law is going to be met, though. The staff member has to notify immediately.
Right.
They don't seek permission, but they will notify us that the report's been made.
We
That was,
actually have a district form that they fill out that
Okay.
comes back over here to this office.
So
When a
that-
report or a call is made. Now, we can't force anybody to do that report because they can still report confidentially.
sure.
But we do ask that they fill out that report and send to us.
Okay. My concern still stands that if it's a great agreement and it's, beneficial for the district, that's wonderful. I just have something that's gnawing at me that I want to make sure that we don't all of a sudden bring this person in and then there are things going on that, well, that's how the law is, or that's how the reporting goes. And yet, we aren't notified or don't really have a handle on what's going on.
No, we'll have a handle, and if at any point the agreement doesn't feel right and it's not in our best interest, we'll break the agreement. I mean, that's it with any agreement at any point. So if it's not in our best interest and it's not working the way we see it work, we won't continue.
Okay.
What I've seen this position do is be able to speed up services to parents and to families.
And that's
And
wonderful.
it's also been very beneficial in being able to remove students from homes that safety is an immediate issue. And sometimes that lags because you're waiting, and they'll say, well, you're going to have to turn it over to the local police, or you're going to turn it over to this group or that group. And with having this person in-house, you kind of have a direct line to get things done quickly. And so, but those are in rare cases,
Sure.
but beneficial cases.
I
keep
just
the kids
want to
safe.
make sure we at no point in time give up our voice or our say for our kids.
That won't happen.
That is not the
That
case here.
won't happen.
It does say in general provisions number 2, either party hereto may terminate without cause
30 days.
within 30 days of written
I saw that.
notice. So if we don't like it, we can do that.
Well, I
Anybody
think
else?
my only concern is like initially we said we wanted a social worker that was licensed. And so I think that's great that it worked at PC, but what I understand, it never works. It lasts about a year and then it kind of piddles out because again, they're not licensed. So they can't really do
Depends
a
on your
lot.
turnover, where is the problem that happens
Mhm.
at. But it worked for you. You have to get the right person and in there. And so
And
I just have
You
people
can
who've done
always-
it and they're like, they're just bored all the time because again, they can't really do counseling. And if that's what we need, I don't know. So that's just what I wonder. Like,
And I could see us keeping the position open, for that. We got word today of another one from the State Department has put out that they're using some of their ESSER money to pay 50% of a counselor. So we're looking at doing that where we were going to try to hire one LPC, maybe we hire 2 LPCs.
okay.
If they're going to pay 50% of both of those, and that's a 3-year. That's a 3-year that they will help us with that. It's a grant we have to apply for, and Ray talked about it this morning, so we're going to pursue that. So I just think we just have more opportunities than we've ever had to try to get some social workers, some LPCs, some people in here to support our students and
kids.
our families, and our staff,
So will we keep it posted or will we pull that down?
this particular part, they'll work on the initial screenings.
And maybe we just go and we see how it's working with this, and because we have the opt-out part.
That's fair.
We can always regroup.
But it gives us something to,
And
Starting
to
place.
one of the
start.
things we all on team agree with is we're not going to fill a position for the sake of filling a position.
Mhm.
It's either the right fit to do the right work here, or we're not going to move in that direction. We'll come
Well, I
up
guess
with
that's
a
just what
plan.
I'm asking. Like initially we said we wanted an LPC and a licensed social worker. And so now it's like, we're going to this. So that's what I guess,
We're not dropping the LPC.
We're not
though,
dropping
so
the
social
LPC.
worker
We're dropping the
can't do
other one.
counseling anyway. They weren't licensed counselors.
We're trying an avenue where we can get an app. We have had no interest at all at this point. And if this doesn't work, the other one can still stay posted.
as long as we have an out,
Mhm.
I'm good, but this gets us started. I just want to keep a close eye on it.
We will, yeah.
So moved.
Okay, I have a motion. I need a second. A motion by
Second,
McGill, second Clift. Roll call?
Allen,
Yes.
Cliff,
Yes.
Curtis,
yes.
McGill,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes. Item number 5, discussion and vote to approve or not approve boardroom audio-visual upgrades.
You should have the proposal in
Mhm.
there. It's gonna be pretty significant. There'll be a TV here, TV up here, kind of facing towards you so you can see, and then another TV here. That'll be for the boardroom. There'll also be cameras, so it'll be set up for streaming and that type of stuff. We decided we were just gonna have electronic or plug-ins across here so you can plug your laptops in, and then of course they're gonna redo the microphones on that. It's all gonna be together. Those are going away. Over here in this side of the room, this will be more for the training. There'll be a smart board set up over here. It'll be an interactive, it's not a smart, it's really the TV.
Smart TV, yeah.
Interactive TV thing over here. There'll be the sound kind of setting up here, and then there'll also be a camera over here for live streaming too.
Speakers will be taken down, will be wired through the ceiling.
There's like 12, I think.
And
10 or 12.
they'll be the speakers like these. He said they look nicer though.
We're also doing protective tubing around our speakers, so cords are not chewed through. That's an issue.
Are we gonna do anything about the light coming in from the windows? Because no matter what, then it's hard to see screens and TVs and all that stuff.
We need to do blinds in here, and I'm waiting for carryover balances and all that for this.
Okay, so it's on the board. That's exciting.
What bucket we pulling this out of? Is this coming out of ESSER funds? Is this coming out of technology?
It's coming out of ESSER
Okay.
funds.
That was my main question. I was like, okay.
And we will continue to all use our own device up here.
Yes.
And there's 2 wireless mics as
Yeah.
well, like if you have audience people or whatever.
Yeah, and there'll be a podium here,
Mhm.
and it, all the controls will be set up over here where you can control it. And
Well-
we decided on 2 different inputs, I guess, so that like this screen could have one input, this TV over here could have another input to it.
I think we need to think about having some options for
Devices.
not all the board has the same device or even has a device. And I think Rochelle is setting some up for some of us before meetings. So I think we need to make sure that we keep that in mind. Not everybody has.
So what we've talked about doing is getting you all the same devices.
That's
That
probably a good idea.
We connect here to everything.
Just for simplicity.
Well, what they had proposed was having a screen that would be mounted into this. It was not a touch screen. It was just basically like a small TV.
Monitor.
Yeah, those get outdated so quickly,
and-
it's not worth it.
Well, that was my concern. I thought it also made this counter less functional,
Right.
because we use this for trainings and everything on both sides now. So that's why we're gonna remove in that other direction. We want to get this part done first, and then everybody will have matching devices when we're done.
That's a great idea. Sometimes I have mine and sometimes I don't. Sometimes it's dead when I want it to be charged. So it'd be nice if we got here and we had our device here and we
Even
could
if
just
the-
log on.
I don't know what they're gonna have, even if they just have a USB connection here, then you can hook it up to any
Right,
device you want to.
right.
So
Macs are the most complicated, but Lightning USB connectors, adapters, almost everyone has, so everything else has a USB.
If you have something to connect it to, not everyone does.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the
So I'm
problem.
saying you'd have a Lightning.
we'd have you set up every time a board meeting would start, and they'd be mobile, so we can take them into executive session, bring them back out, those type of things.
Cool.
Love it. Anybody
I move we approve.
Second,
have a motion by Cliff, a second from McGill. Any further discussion?
When are they gonna do it? Do you know?
Soon,
Yes.
soon, they're waiting.
It's like
Now, I will say, some
June
of
board
the,
meeting?
He actually called
I
me
know.
yesterday wanting to know, he thought the board meeting was yesterday.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
we would like to have it done by June board meeting. I don't know that we'll have it done that quickly.
11
There
days.
are some back order things because folks' supply and demand across the nation
Anything.
is
Terrible.
yeah. We go tomorrow, just as a side note, Jennifer and I are heading to Enid Public Schools to see their activity center, auditorium, all that, as we're looking at making that to where we can do remote learning, meetings, and those type of things over in our activity center. So we'll be seeing all that.
Awesome. Especially with these funds that we're getting that are
Right.
one-time funds, technology. I mean, school districts don't have money for technology. This is our chance
Right.
to
And
get
nice.
all of the technology
Yeah.
that we need while
It's
we're
always like
getting all of these ESSER
piecemeal.
funds.
yeah, I mean, you can never make an
Always.
upgrade you'd
Right.
like to make, because you have to make only the critical ones.
Right. So I love the fact that we're trying to do
All
all
of
of this on ESSER funds while we have some money to spend. And then our great, great, great grandchildren can pay it off.
That's
Oh, it'll be continuing.
That's great.
Isn't that great? Okay. Item number, did we vote?
Roll
call.
Roll
No,
call.
no.
Sorry,
I asked a
that's why I
question.
said, did we vote?
No.
Alan,
Yes.
Cliff,
Yes.
Curtis,
Yes.
Jill,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes. Item number 6, discussion and vote to approve or not approve resolution to comply with the School District Budget Act.
So the School District Budget Act, it's been around for a long time. There's not a whole bunch, there's maybe 14 districts that do it, but it gives us a lot more flexibility with our budgeting because we don't have to send everything over to the county. And it's also a lot more transparent. So it gives you for each of the funds, the major funds, 3 years of the revenues, 3 years of the expenses on it and the budget. And if we need to amend it or revise it, then we just bring it to the board and get it approved again. So the first thing that you have to do is in June, which will be the next one, is we'll approve kind of a preliminary budget. So we don't have to have the temporary appropriations. So that allows us to, we always have trouble when we do our payroll and things like that. It takes up all our temporary appropriations. We can't spend it on other things. Well, we don't have to worry about that because we've got the full budget there. Then in October, we'll relook at that again after we get all our allocations and stuff and do a budget revision. We also do our sinking fund at that time and do the worksheet for that so that the county knows what we have to have for the millage and that kind of stuff for the taxes. But it's to me, it's a lot more straightforward, transparent way of budgeting and works with all the, what would you say, accounting principles that we need to follow and everything like that.
Spoke with our accountant a few weeks ago when we met with them and asked if they had any concerns, what they thought. They saw no problem with us moving to this. Now, they said most school districts don't utilize this, and they didn't know why, for whatever reason. But they saw no problem in auditing purposes, accountability, transparency reasons. They said, you want to move instruction? Absolutely, go ahead, go for it.
I think since it will be new and stuff will look a little bit different, if we could just, in June, if that's when we approve it, if we could set up a special session so we've got time to just do budget and we all go through it and have a notebook or even a big file where we can look at all the, and just have the time to do it. So we're not doing it in the main meeting would be my only request. Otherwise, I'm fine
I
with it.
like that.
It's more of a zero-based type budget, right? Like we can,
Yes.
it's a lot more straight.
Would you want to do that after we get our allocation for the year?
We have to do it in June. We do have to do it in June.
Right.
So it'd be
Start
more
July
toward-
1 on the new
Yeah,
budget.
so it'd be probably a little bit after the 14th is our next meeting. So,
Yeah, that'd be nice to be able to go through.
And you have to publish it 5 days ahead of time. So-
Yeah, publish the budget,
Uh-huh.
ahead of July 1st.
I'd love a training.
we could set up a work session
A work
for,
session, maybe that would be better, do a work session.
I like
Well, it'd
that.
still be, that's what I'm saying. It'd be a
Yeah.
special meeting.
But it,
Right.
No, still a special meeting, but that's what
we could set up a work session for Monday, June 21st. I don't know that we'll have everything together by the 14th. To do a work session following the regular meeting, or before the regular meeting.
what time on the 21st?
Well, I mean, we're flexible on the time, because we can do it during the day, we can do it in the evening.
That is the day after Father's Day.
Is it any way to do it on Wednesday, the 23rd?
I would probably have it done by.
You think you have it done by the 14th?
Yeah, I've always had it done.
That would be better.
We could pull it, or then we do it before the board meeting.
Uh-huh, we could do that. Work session before the board meeting, 5 minutes.
That's
Board meeting starts
Me
at
too.
6, so we could do a work session. What time are you thinking, Ms. Stegman?
Yeah, That's fine. Then we give us a little gap, or if we don't have a gap, then at least we don't.
Because it's only gonna be over this one item,
Mhm.
but, that way we can go through everything.
I like that.
Yep.
That's
So
our
let's,
tentative plan.
let's make it at 4 o'clock on the June 14th. It'll be a work session, still a special board meeting, but it's a work session.
From the 4 to 6 and then 6 come in. Okay.
June 14th,
Mm-hmm.
4 o'clock, special work session on the new budget.
It's Flag Day.
Okay.
It is.
I need a motion to approve or not approve this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by McGill, a second by Allen. Any more discussion? Roll call?
Allen,
Yes.
Cliff,
Yes.
Curtis,
Yes.
McGill,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes. And you have the note about the special meeting for the
June
14th.
14th, 4 p.m. work session, special meeting, new budget.
Okay.
Discussion of new budget.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, item number 7, discussion and vote to approve or not approve change in date of payment for the pandemic stipend. Superintendent Crosland?
So, we want to change it and go ahead and pay for it this month. Originally, we thought it was going to affect taxes if we did it within the same month that we paid. But when we actually did the payroll authorizations and looked at it, it didn't make any difference on that. So we want to go ahead and get it out to all the employees by tomorrow so that they have it for summer to use.
It's awesome.
So it's not gonna be the higher tax hit on them. It'll allow us to go ahead and pay them tomorrow, and then we can put it in our claims and have it reimbursed back to us through ESSER funds by June 30th
Great.
That's
for
We
the
can
end of
have it
this
for
fiscal
summer.
year. So,
Awesome.
but we did put it in the last, when we brought the whole stipend to you, we put in a pay date. And so we need to bring it to you today.
Amend
So
that.
change that to tomorrow, Friday, May 28th.
Are we 100% direct deposit now?
Yes.
So that's how you can just
Easily.
send it out tomorrow?
Yeah.
That's, sure makes life easier, doesn't it?
Oh, that's so good to hear.
That is a
Later
fond,
and print checks.
yeah, a fond memory of the old days. Or maybe it's a not so fond memory.
What a great way to
Anybody
kick
that
off
handles
summer.
Payroll, it's a not so fun.
Okay, I need a motion.
I move we approve to change the date of the pandemic stipend.
Second.
I have a motion by Cliff, a second by Allen. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Allen,
Yes.
Cliff,
Yes.
Curtis,
Yes.
McGill,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes. Item number 8, discussion and vote to approve or not approve job descriptions for curriculum coordinator, federal programs coordinator, special education coordinator, and graduation coach.
First question I had is several of them kind of show reporting to Pam, Rick, and Jennifer. I think, is that just kind of, because is that just showing that there's accountability to all? They're going to report directly, look like most of them reported directly into Pam from what we talked about. But that, on the actual job description, that was the way it read. And I assumed I knew what you guys meant by it, but I just thought I'd ask.
So we want to be very clear, there's going to be accountability for these. To let you know, next year we go into the year, on Monday mornings, we do team meetings. Monday afternoons, we're actually going to be coordinator meetings with me. And Pam will be in there, Jennifer will be in there as well. For those points that need to be from all of us. Curriculum coordinator is directly going to be a report to me. Moving forward, I'll be working, but we want to have it that if I'm not here, that if somebody else is not here, there's a group of people that they report to.
Okay.
There is nothing that's going to be sitting out there that they're just, well, we really don't know who you report to. So you're probably seeing a little bit over the top on who they're going to report to, but curriculum coordinator will report directly to me. Federal programs and special ed will report directly to Pam. The graduation coaches will be kind of Pam and I both, because they're just going to be in that curriculum piece. But this is all a lot in response to Mr. Meyer leaving us. And as I've mentioned to you guys, I've been thinking about a reorganization. And what this would do would allow us to shuffle some things on the district team and some of this work can just continue on. The federal programs piece, I cannot stress to you, while these are all important, the federal programs person there's so much right now going on with federal programs. We need to have somebody that's there working on the reports. The reports are just growing in number. I cannot tell you how thankful we are for the United States Department of Education to increasing our reports that they keep coming up with. It has become exponential since January, and I'm only anticipating that this is going to continue for at least the next 4 years.
I'm assuming that these will be paid for, the majority of them, through federal program monies,
Yes.
as in all of them, or special ed, federal,
But
and
not your curriculum.
curriculum and graduate. Well, we could do curriculum
Don't
easily
we
under
have
federal
some of
programs
these
money.
still?
Some of these are, so we've had addendums, just had part-time, some of
Okay.
these are
We have a
expanding.
graduation coach though,
Mhm.
right? Okay,
But
okay.
we're making some amendments to them. Some of them, like I said, part-time, they were small, we're expanding the scope. Some people, graduation coach is going to be at multiple sites.
Yeah, I noticed that. Agenda A.
Things are going to look different as we
Okay.
keep moving forward. The work is growing in its scope. And last year, you had us coming in and, what's this way to put this? Last year, we were addressing immediate needs.
Mhm.
What we're
Right.
doing now is we're looking for future growth. And so it's a different approach. We're not where we were a year ago, thank God.
Yeah.
And so now we're talking about growth. We're talking about next steps. We're talking about, how are we going to make this to where it is sustainable? So we're not trying to make it top heavy. We're wanting people to come in here that are expert teachers and other, if they're experts in other areas, come in here and really help us take off and do this thing. Pam might have a lot she wants to say about this. I don't know. I don't want to take any thunder from her. Or Jennifer might as well.
I think like Rick said, just needing some help with the legwork piece of things. The reports have gotten crazy. And with having the additional ESSER 2 funds are very separate from ESSER 3 funds, which are very separate from the original CARES funds. And there's just been so much with that legwork piece of it. To have some people that could assist with that, then we're able to take on other responsibilities to absorb some of the.
And I think
things
that'll
that
help
need
us
to be
spend
absorbed.
it better, like,
Yeah.
because you're not just trying
focused.
to stay ahead and files, keep the files and stuff. Then you can really think about how you're spending it. If that part's easy, yeah.
Yeah, like Rick said, we spent the last year just trying to get in school, keep school open,
Yeah.
those kind of things, and also trying to finish up some monitorings, finishing up some federal programs monitoring and things. So we feel like we've got ourselves at a good place now that we need to move forward, and these are directions, these are ways to do that.
I'm excited about it, and I just want to make sure that we go on record. I know we have Case here, not necessarily CUDA, but we want to I love that we're working diligently and hope that you all notice to keep all of this as transparent as possible with job descriptions, with discussions, and that if there, I can speak for Rick, if there's ever questions, you can ask them about what these positions do and what they entail. And I am assuming that since they're going to be meeting with the team, that these people will be at board meetings as well for
Yeah,
us
I
to get to
said that on
know
there.
and see. Yes. And I missed that.
It's one of the bullet points. I
Okay.
saw that and I was like, I like that.
And so that excites me, so that we have the ability to ask lots of questions and see where these positions go and what we're doing with them, because transparency is what we're all about. So I'm excited about new functions, and I want to go on record stating that we're going to miss you, Seth. We're glad to have you for a year, and we wish you absolutely the best in your new endeavor.
Yes.
Turkey.
It's going to.
You did a lot of troubleshooting. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, you were
What are
here.
these short
One of
letters?
the most difficult years of the district's history. I put those two words
Probably
together.
a lot of school
history.
districts, histories.
Yeah.
So it was, but multiple reasons for us, not only with the
Yeah, sure.
virus, but coming out of craziness. So it was a tough year, and we hope you leave with a smile on your face and remember us fondly. Come back and see us.
I'm really appreciative of this past year, and I think that I told you after graduation that the relationships with the people that I work with are excited for these positions for the fact of if you want a district to get where they can be, you plan for the future. And I think building a district again that's great curriculum that provides the best services for students on IEPs that uses federal funds best, hire great people who focus on those. The applicant pool that we've had for certain jobs, the difference between a year ago and now is pretty incredible. And
I love hearing that.
That's huge. Yeah.
And that's how I always gauge the progress of a district is who you keep and who wants to come in.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I'm excited for you guys.
we were glad to have you.
Thanks for being part of that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Come back and visit us, and I'm just glad that we have, we hired Rick and all of his vision, and this is part of his vision, and whichever direction he takes us, it's our job to support him and see this vision through. So as a board, we want to do whatever we need to do to make this successful, which is right now a motion to approve these job descriptions.
So moved.
Second,
Motion by McGill, second by Allen. Any more discussion?
was excited from the first time I read it. I know he said read it twice. I just got more
I did. I said
excited. So
read it
this
twice.
is awesome.
Okay, roll call.
Allen,
Yes.
Cliff,
Yes.
Curtis,
Yes.
McGill,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes. Item number 9, consent agenda.
Look, just like a couple purpose accounts and a job description change on the LPC, so. I don't have any questions.
I don't have any.
I'd move to approve as presented.
Second Cliff.
I have a motion by McGill, a second from Cliff. Any other discussion? Carrie, you good? Okay, roll call.
Allen,
Yes.
Cliff,
Yes.
Curtis,
Yes.
McGill,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes. Item number 10, proposed executive session to discuss employment, hiring, or resignation of individuals, salaried public officers, or employees listed on Exhibit A, Executive Session Authority, Oklahoma State 25307B1. Motion to go into executive session.
I'll make a motion.
To convene into.
To go
Yes.
into.
Oh, that's what I was waiting. Okay, what's your motion?
No, we're not.
Second, Alan.
We have a motion.
That's why I never do that. That's why I never do it.
No,
I do
you're
it wrong.
I have a motion by Clift and a second by Allen to convene into executive session. Discussion? Roll call.
Allen,
Yes.
Cliff,
Yes.
Curtis,
Yes.
McGill,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but like, oh, yeah.
Doing a-
Yeah,
Doing
if
a
you go to high school, then like the middle.
Doing a
middle school
pass
could
the
just, like,
hat.
Take it, I think it's cute. That's what I've been thinking ever since I saw her
To
name on
take
it. I was gonna
pictures
call
of the
her
birthday
first
party,
name.
we had to go like this, to hold up one side of the face. so
Well, no,
that
I was gonna say
they
she can do the high
hold
school,
the
but
picture.
coordinate.
It was pretty comical, y'all.
All right, we're back.
Back.
I told you.
I
Okay.
don't know. I have that.
How are you doing? Living the dream? There you go.
I got told son the other day, I think it's blackberry now.
That.
I like it a
All
lot.
right, number 12.
Okay, acknowledge. Here we go. The board entered into executive session at
12:38.
12:38 PM to discuss the hiring, resignations, and retirements of individuals, salaried public officers listed on Exhibit A as authorized by 25 OS Section 307B1. Those present in executive session were Zach McGill, Robin Morse, Kara Gertis, Christy Cliff, Laurie Allen, and Superintendent Rick Crosland. No action
Hey!
was taken by the Board of Education.
Thank you for saying my name correctly.
The board returned to open session at 1:31. Okay. I am now looking for a motion for the hiring of individuals listed on Exhibit A.
So moved, Cliff.
Second.
I have a motion by Cliff, a second by Alan. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Allen,
Yes.
Cliff,
Yes.
Curtis,
Yes.
McGill,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes. Motion 13, to approve or not approve the hiring of, we did that. 14, approve or not approve the transfer, or reassignment, workday adjustment of individuals listed on Exhibit A.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by McGill, second by Allen. Any discussion?
Motion is to approve, just to clarify.
Allen,
Yes.
Cliff,
Yes.
Curtis,
Yes.
McGill,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes. Item number 15, motion and vote to approve or not approve the resignation of individuals listed on Exhibit A.
So moved to approve.
Second.
Approval by, motion by Cliff, second by Allen. Discussion? Roll call.
Allen,
Yes.
Cliff,
Yes.
Curtis,
Yes.
McGill,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes. And item number 16, motion to approve or not approve the retirement of individuals listed on Exhibit A.
Move to approve as presented.
Second.
Motion by McGill, second by Allen. Discussion? And last roll call.
Allen,
Yes.
Cliff,
Yes.
Curtis,
Yes.
McGill,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Cliff, second by McGill for the roll call for motion to adjourn.
Allen,
Yes.
Cliff,
Yes.
Curtis,
Yes.
McGill,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
June
Thank you,
14th
thank
will be
you.
our next
Thank you
meeting.
again, Seth.
Starts at 4.
We will have a work